Hey folks, this is Pete from Pete's Tackle here and Guiding. Hey, I'm here to do another video. I put one together for you guys and it was poop. The herring head, 3/4 ounce of the Do It mold. It's an underspin. And we're going to do it in one of my favorite colors, and I will get back with you on that color that it's called in the next segment. The next segment I'll have the camera set up for pouring.
Hey folks, we're back. We're using 5/0 Mustad. Oh, I can't remember the name on it, but it's the 32746N PBN 5/0. So I'm going to be doing those. I'm going to do 7 of them for you guys, and then we're using the underspin forms from Do It here. So we need 7 of those out. Got the mold nice and hot. You always want to have your molds hot when you get ready to do all this stuff. So got those laid out. So we'll lay in the underspin first. So, and we'll lay the hook in. Oh, later in the wrong spot. Ooh, that mold is hot, hot, hot. All right, we're gonna knock out the first one. See how that turned out. It should be good. There's our first pour. That's a real nice, the herring head. So we'll get 7 of those knocked out real quick for you. So there we go. There's number 2. Poured out really nice. Got the hook holder and everything on there. So my plan is I'm going to pour up corresponding paddle tails with these for you guys. And then when I get back out on the lake, we're going to go out and test these bad boys out. They're going to catch fish. So yep, that's hot. Woohoo! I had a Lee pot here. This is my new one. I had a Lee pot that I ran for 15 years. And the elements finally went out on it. And I used to get all my parts through Lure Craft to rebuild them. And I'll have to go to Lee now. I want to rebuild it. It's a good pot yet. So oh, hear that sound there? That means something ain't lined up in the mold. Yep. That's the sound you want to hear when you close that mold up. Aluminum on aluminum. There we go. They're all poured. Oh, all right, folks. So here we are. We got our heads done and everything painted. So we're going to take and clean the sprue off. And I like to do it this way. Here, just work the heads off, and it makes a better cleanup at the end product when you're not doing production. Production I snip, but So I don't do production anymore. So when I do my lead pot, I always try to get it super hot on the first run with it, and that brings a lot of the impurities to the surface, which is really nice. And you can just scoop them off with a spoon. As you see in the pot here, it's kind of got that silver look. That's all impurities in the lead that are coming to the surface. So my next step, I get my fancy little what do you want to call it, Home Depot knife, and I come in here where all the joints are, but see how clean those are? The breaks off. You don't have to do hardly any cleaning. You just get all the clean up where the mold section line is. So there you go. There's your underspin, the herring head. That one didn't get a very good hook eye, but I'm not worried about that. So I might tie that one.
Hey folks, so I've got them in my painting setup. I use Flex Coat. They're not for everything. I use other stuff for it, for different stuff. But Flex Coat holds on to them, and I can put them in my dryer after I epoxy them and everything. So here's Flex Coat does those. You can get those through Lure Parts Online. Sells them. They're expensive, but they're made in the USA. So we're gonna get ready and start painting these here in just a second. Hey, so folks, I made this little deal here, and this is for when I put my reducer in my paint. This is for stirring it up, and you just get in there and spin it around. It's like a little blender, so that works really good. And I got my white reduced down quite a bit from my primer, so we'll do 2 coats on these jigs here, but I wanted to show you that. That's something, just a quick bend of the wire, and that's just basically a paper clip bent around, so it works really well. Alright folks, we're going to be painting this jig here. So that's the primer there. Hey folks, so I got my Cretex. This is transparent bright yellow. So we're going over a white so it'll opaque out really well. And this is Cretex, and I'll put it in my gun. We don't need a whole lot. We're only doing 5 of these. So I put just a little bit in the gun, probably about 10-12 drops. So we're gonna paint one up real quick. So what we want to do is clear out your gun first from the cleanup. There we go. And I'll set my pressure. I'm going to drop her down to about 20. Perfect. Yeah. And we're going to want to make sure you get every nook and cranny on it. There we go, folks. There we go. Alright folks, so I have a little stencil here that I've cut out for another project, but this is the color I'm going to be doing, and that's the pattern I'm doing on this jig. I have Cretex transparent bright green for my paint in there. I got about 6 drops in there. So I'm going to get my gun like I did on the last one. Oh yeah, you can blow your stencils away with their paper. I'm going to drop her down probably about 10 psi. Don't want very much. So I'm going to get my stencil set up like that, and then I'm going to come in. Now get the other one on the top. Alright, there's the green dot. So, and then that'll get a black dot on top of it. So, with that, we'll see you here in a second. Hey folks! What do you call a 2-legged fish? Well, it's tunny fish. Tunny fish. Got it? All right, here we go. On our next step. We're going to put Cretex opaque black in our gun. Probably need 3-4 drops. That should be more than enough to do the next step. Do like we always do. Get the air pressure down to about 15 for the dots. And then clean out the gun. Ooh, yeah, look at that nice spray. Ooh, beautiful. All right, here we go. So, got something on there. Here they are, both sides done. We're going to do our little stencil here and put a dot right in that green dot. Just a little dot there. All right, there's the pattern right there. That's basically it for it. But I'm gonna show you my tools for doing the eyes and then putting on the blades, which is real simple. So I'll get back with you folks here in just a second. Folks, I forgot one step. I forgot to put the throat on there, and that is Cretex fluorescent orange there. So I'll put one on for you. So I come in here on this one and just hit it lightly there. And then there's a little fin right there that I want to hit. Really lightly hit that fin. There we go. And that's all we do. All right, folks, we're getting ready to do the eyes here. I got my little pill dispensers or whatever you want to call them. I put just a little tiny bit of the red opaque Cretex in there. You want opaque because you don't want that color to stand out. So, and this is a nail that I use to make the eyes, and just come in there and just give her a little daub like that, and that turns into a beautiful eye right there. So, and I'll get back with you here in just a few minutes and we'll do the pupil. Hey folks, we're back for the dotting of the pupil now. I'll clean out my little paint here out of my little cuppy. So, there we go. And we're going to go with Cretex opaque black again for the pupil. We don't need much, just a little dab will do us. We only got 5 of them little buggers to do. So here we go. So here's the other nail. If you look at that, I've kind of rounded it off a little bit, and it's flat but a little bit rolled over on the end. So, and this will give us a beautiful pupil. There we go. There's that beautiful pupil that we're looking for. So, all right, I'll catch you back at the next segment, the epoxying segment. Hey folks, well, we're on one of the, almost the last segment here. We got this one and assembling, and that's it. So we're going to do the epoxy. I like Flex Coat High Build. This is your resin here, and I just run it like this into the syringe. You can get these from the syringes from Flex Coat also, and it pulls out a nice even amount. I'm going to go with 1.5 milliliters. That should take care of painting all these up with the epoxy. And then I do the same thing, 1.5 with the hardener, and you get a good exact ratios with this. That's why I like this. So suck that in. You don't want it. Try not to get very many air bubbles in there. All right, so we got 1.5, so that's 2, 3. All right, then we come with comes from Flex Coat also, some UV crystals, glitter. I like to put a little bit of that in there. And then the other thing I put in there is chartreuse super gold pigment. Find my little knife. There we go. A little bit of pigment in there. And these paint brushes here, I use those for my epoxy. You get a bunch of them for 99 cents at Walmart, so they work great. And I got my little stirrer here. This is my epoxy stirrer. When you get Flex Coat stuff, really, they give you a lot of good, they got good product if you're into lure making. And I use this for my crankbaits and stuff also. So you want to mix it for a little while, get it all done up. So this is going to have a 24-hour cure time. I'll pull this off tomorrow. And so what I like to do is I take my brush and I start with the eyes. I want to get my eyes first. I want to have a little build up in the eye area before I start building up the rest. And I go down by the hook hanger and everything, and this will protect your paint from getting damaged. It will chip in the rocks, don't get me wrong there, but you'll get less chip because it's pretty flexible. So alright, that one's ready to go. So, and that'll dry nice and clear. So I lay them down. I'm going to do all 5 of them for you, and then I'll show you the process of putting them up in my dryer. Get them all sealed up. They don't take too long. And you want to brush them enough in strokes where you get all the bubbles. Oops. There I go. I did it finally. Take this, go through there, clean out your eye. Got some epoxy in that eye. We don't want epoxy in the eye. There we go. 2 more to go. And then we're done. Alright. There we go. We got them all epoxied with the UV and glow. So those will be really good. Alright. So next step, I'll be putting them in the jig turner, in the lure turner, dryer, as I call it. Hey folks, well, we're here at the dryer. I built this a few years back. We're going to stop it right here. No, I want to go 1 more. 2 more. All right. So the rods go right in there. They're nice and snug, 3/8. This is just a barbecue rotisserie. A 3/4 inch square. So there we go. They're off and on their way. They're turning. I'll be back with you guys in about 24 hours. Let them all cure up. So, hey folks, well, we're back. We had to do a few modifications on the GoPros, put a new filters on the speakers. So, but we're back for our last step. We're going to be doing these here, putting the blades on these. Here's another color that we have right here, the perch. It's glow, UV. And then I got another color I did. That's another really good color, excuse me for the little belt. But that's another good one right there. And this is whitefish. I did whitefish here. This is going to imitate my Lake Superior whitefish. I'm going to try to work in my tails to match these bodies here. So, with no further ado. Alright folks, well we're here. We're going to get started. The very last one. Here's our jig right here, the UnderSpin. As you can see, she turned out really nice. Really nice. So we're going to hook the blades on. So the blades we have spinner blades, swivels on them. So you don't always have to put a swivel on the blade. I will let you know that. It doesn't have to have a swivel. A split ring will do enough and it'll just vibrate back there. The willow blade is used due to the fact that it takes less to get it to rotate on stuff. That's why we use them on spinner baits and stuff like that. The willow blades, because it has less vibration than your Indiana and Colorado blades. It has less vibration than your Indiana and your Colorado blades, but it will spin better. I don't have every one of these. I have just enough for my 5, and then I have to put some split ring, put some swivels on. So these are pretty just simple, but boy, these are going to work. I can't wait to get them out there this spring and do some videoing with it. So probably won't be too long. Probably in March here, we'll start getting the boats out and heading out on the lake. Actually, some of the boat ramps are froze up on the lake right now. With that said, if you guys want to book a trip with me ever, and if you're up here in the up in the glacier, going to Glacier Park or wherever, and you want to have some extra fun while you're in town, give me a shout out, and you can call me at get a hold of me at Flathead Fish Finders. Captain Mike will be the outfitter, and his outfitter number is 26230, and the phone number is 406-250-6246. And you get a hold of Rebecca there, and she can get a trip booked with you for you. We go out, we jig lake trout a lot of times. We'll go perch fishing. Usually July and August, I'm out fishing Lake Superior whitefish pretty much exclusively. The bite on the lake trout goes down quite a bit. Early season, we could do some smallmouth fishing and different stuff like that. I do like to go chase our native species for a little bit of the time on the trip and knock out a few of them trolling. They're kind of fun to catch. The northern pike minnow, otherwise known as the squaw fish. We use them for bait fish, but oh my God, do they ever, when you're trolling, whack a rod hard. They about rip them right out of your rod holder. And they only have to be a pound fish, and they just hit so hard and ferocious. But after that, there's no fight trolling. But if you're jigging for them, they fight like heck. So, with that said, go ahead. If you need to book me or anything, I'll put the information down at the bottom in the description. So, folks, with that, we're going to end this video. And thank you so much for watching. And keep subscribing. Our numbers are starting to go up again with subscribers. We need more comments. I want to hear more comments on what we need to do and stuff like that. What you'd like to see in the shop. Well, I'm still working in the shop before I'm out filming fishing videos on the lake. But with that said, I'll talk to you all later. And remember, fishing does the body good. Alright, bye. You all have fun.